Yo, what's up, y'all? It's MMA Analyst. Back at it. Review time. UFC 110. Saw a lot of stuff tonight. We saw some show-ups. We saw some blow-ups. Even saw some burials. Seen it all. But let's get right down to it. Main event: Cain Velasquez versus Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Damn. Yo, first of all, y'all, real quick, 8-2. I was 8-1 going into that final showdown between the youngin and the not so olden, but looking kind of older. Damn. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. I basically, I think I know, because I don't think it's the same situation like with Chuck, but I think I know how the Chuck fans feel now, because I never really had like my dude, officially, be, outside of the true title shot picture for life. Like, for as long as his career is, I don't think it's going to be much more than, maybe 2-3 more fights. But it's official, you know what I mean? He's not getting in title shots again, at least not based on, truly being that top guy that he's always seemed to have been. Damn. I just keep saying damn. On the other hand, Velasquez we knew he was for real, but hey, his hands look good. His boxing, it's all good there. He's going to be a tough fight for really anybody. I would love to see him against Dos Santos. That's a fight. Like, there's not many guys at this point in the heavyweight division where, I got to pick, it's tough. You basically got, the 5 guys. You've got Brock, then you've got the 2 guys fighting each other, Carwin and Mir, and then you've got Velasquez and Dos Santos. And then you've also got, on the other side, the 6th man, Nogueira. And, damn, that's what it is. Nogueira, he's the dude. He was the dude. And now, it's just like, what's next? I say Nogueira versus Congo. He should be able to win that fight. Nogueira versus somebody else, and then maybe Nogueira just sit to the side and let the dudes, let the dudes on the up and coming, let them take over. Because it's not like you're able to stop him at this point. Damn. On to the next fight: Wanderlei Silva versus Michael Bisping. Hey, man. 2 things on one side, Michael Bisping. He wasn't running as much, but at the same time, Wanderlei wasn't chasing as much. Dan Henderson said, I'm going to just chase that ass, and just walked him down, and Bisping had to, respect that. In this situation, Wanderlei seemed like he always wanted to fight in the last 30 seconds. 30 seconds left, time to really turn it up. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, if he just turns it up for, however long, like, he's just going to back up. But, Michael Bisping did his thing, went for takedowns, got takedowns. Much props there, much respect there. And, ended up going I thought it was an early stoppage. I'm like, wow, man. I was like, because I knew there was like 7 seconds left in the fight around that time when he really blasted him at the end. And I thought the ref pulled him off, and they said, I thought he basically said fight's over. I said, wow, they really wanted that Wanderlei TKO. And then I'm just positive. I'm like, yo, it's a BS stoppage, but I'll take it. And then I was saying, like, I think it'll be 29-28 anyways for Wanderlei if it would have gone to decision. And then they're like, with the decision. I'm like, oh, damn, I must have missed that. That's what happens when you watch a fight at a bar type situation. But yeah, what happens is my crew, my gym style, they kind of rent out a spot at a bar. And then we get the whole floor type thing now. It's tight, Trying to be JJ. But anyways, y'all. Wanderlei Silva, though, damn. He's just not the dude, obviously. We already knew this. He got the win. That's good that he got the win. He needed to get that win. But he's clearly not ever going to be a true contender again. Not as... It's much more severe than Nogueira. But it's a situation where Nogueira might get a title shot in the future if he beats a guy. And Wanderlei might get a title shot in the future if he beats a guy. But I don't think they'll ever truly be the number 1 contender, no matter what happens, no matter who they might beat. unless they really go on runs, and that's my point. I don't think they're going to go on any serious runs. Next fight, the first one I got wrong on the night. Going into this one, I was 7-0, and I'll take this loss. Anytime someone steps up and does everything right and just shows, yo, I'm the guy, I'm the new dude, I'm here, I will gladly support him. George Sotiropoulos came out. Boxing looked crisp. Boxing looked good. Jiu-jitsu, man. If Joe Stevenson wasn't as good as he was on the ground, a lot of dudes would have got tapped in that fight. A lot of dudes, but Joe Stevenson knew, yo, don't let that get too tight. Don't let this get too tight. But he had his hands tucked in nice, Sotiropoulos did. His elbows leaning nice, just kind of resting against the rib cage. And kept everything straight, turning everything, ducking under punches. He ain't running around, Joe Stevenson coming, he didn't just jump back like I'm scared. He ducked under it. My man was doing his thing. I'm like, wow, Sotiropoulos, do your damn thing, man. Joe Stevenson, damn. It was, on the ground, he was looking like he knew, how to get out of stuff. And, he had a nice little thing. We got the deep half guard, went to go to the back or at least sweep him. And Sotiropoulos did his thing. Nothing else we can say here really about that. Joe Stevenson, what's next for him? Something in the UFC, as always. What's next for Sotiropoulos? I don't know. Step up the competition. But, that was the gatekeeper, Joe Stevenson. He blasted through with the tanks and everything. Had a crew of Aussies and, with the little Gatling guns. And, man, he did his damn thing. So, much props to George Sotiropoulos. Next, we had Ryan Bader versus Keith Jardine. That was a bad, ugly-ass fight. I always forget how bad Ryan Bader's fight, his stand-up is until I see him try and throw that overhand, baseball throw. It's ugly. Don't go to Chuck Liddell's school for striking. That ain't how you do it. It's good for Chuck, but it's not good for you, dog. And it was good for Chuck. It's not even good for Chuck anymore. But, in the end, he got that chin. He reached that little chin of Jardine's, which is being very questionable. First, he got it with the jab, which is the real thing. And then he got him with the hook. All this overhand swinging. Who you going to hit? You either hitting this dude on the top of the head, or you got to fight, Hongman Choi, and maybe you can, hit him on the jaw. But who you coming down like that? Head down, that's what a lucky punch is. When somebody lands, and just throws a overhand fastball, that's a lucky punch. If you land that, which he never does. I think he actually did land it, though, in the last fight. Stumbling dude all over the place. But, hey, Jardine, he got knocked out, didn't know what was really going on. Woke up, what the hell? Why'd you stop the fight? Just calm down, Jardine. Calm down. You'll get to see the tape later. Jardine might be out of the UFC. Wow. Damn, that's 3 fights in a row. Jardine's ass might be out of the UFC. That's interesting. He must be pissed, too, because they keep talking about Stephan Bonner's not going anywhere. And we'll get to that later. Anyways, Anthony Perosh versus Mirko Cro Cop. Cro Cop's done, y'all. Even in the win, he's done. Even in the win. I mean, if he would have lost, then he would have lost. And it would have been easier for everybody to say Cro Cop's done. But even in the win, Cro Cop's done. Anthony Perosh didn't have any kind of stand-up. His ground game was all right, but defensively, he was able to, not get straight bombasted or lambasted or, bombarded or I was trying to think of something with L again. But yeah, I mean, Cro Cop should have been able to, man, you talking about fighting a jiu-jitsu black belt with no stand-up, no, big fights, no big wins, and getting outboxed by Jeff Monson and getting knocked out by light heavyweights and taking the fight on 2 days' notice, and you can't walk through this dude? Oh, hell no. Mirko Cro Cop looked bad. Damn. I feel sorry for the Mirko Cro Cop fans because, he might get a good fight after this. Man, I'm glad he fought this dude because I would have got the wrong pick. If he would have went out, fought like this against big-ass Ben Rothwell, Mirko Cro Cop would have went home with the loss and probably eliminated himself for life, as in retirement. Stefan Bonner versus Krzysztof Sosinski. Yo, by the way, mad props to Anthony Perosh. He's definitely got the heart of a fighter. Stefan Bonner versus Krzysztof Sosinski. Man, headbutt. This is going to get overturned if MMA is right and if the athletic commissions have any clue what they're doing out there, which sometimes we're not really sure. This will be overturned to a no contest. Clearly, headbutt, heads clashed. Exactly what he said. When you have a southpaw versus orthodox fighter, headbutts happen all the time, especially when these two dudes are coming at each other head down. Every time they throw a punch, heads down. I mean, maybe if they did some normal striking, they wouldn't, but I mean, that's how you get headbutts. But anyways, I mean, these guys look like rams. But, Stefan Bonner, I believe it's his third loss in a row as well. Krzysztof Sosinski got a win for the moment. But, Krzysztof's obviously got some kind of future. At least he's getting better and growing. And Stefan Bonner's got some kind of job promise, that Stefan Bonner will never go anywhere. He fought in the greatest fight in UFC history, and he can never do anything wrong, and he'll never be cut. And I don't know if that's good motivation for somebody. Chris Lytle versus Brian Foster. Let's just put it out there. Chris Lytle stand-up. I mean, he's supposed to have some half-decent boxing. This dude's stand-up is the worst. But, he always goes out there, even though his ground game is better, and he'll tell people, I want to keep it a secret. Now, you're just trying to get the awards of the night. We still ended up with the award of the night, though. It wasn't fight of the night, submission of the night. Brian Foster ended up with the injury of the night. I know anybody would take a gash or a concussion over a effed up knee. You know what I mean? You don't have to walk on your head. And, you can put a Vaseline and stop the bleeding on a cut and stitch it up. But that knee is effed. So he's going to be some recuperation status for a little bit. You wait till these athletic commission reports, suspension comes out. You'll see this, Brian Foster, unable to fight until we say the F so, because this dude can't walk. Goran Relic versus C.B. Dalloway. Didn't see the fight, but I guess C.B. Dalloway got the win. Three-round decision, unanimous 29-28. Goran Relic, I believe that was his first loss. I don't like saying stuff when I'm not exactly sure. James Te-Huna got his win as well. So there you go. UFC 110, Australia is where it happened, and that's about it. Overall, it was a pretty half-decent card. Definitely the main event was a big... I mean, I thought if Nogueira was going to get blasted, I didn't think he was just going to get blasted like that. Dude came out, I was like, bow, bow, bow. And I'm wondering if anybody's got anything to say about that. I'm like, wow, I know some people... I don't care. But I know some people out there, like, he got the brown pride tattoo, and he throwing up gang signs. I don't know what he's really meant by that, but I know people are pissed. I don't give a damn. Vanderlei, hopefully he continues to improve. Maybe gets the clinch a little more. By improve, I mean look like he used to look. And Crow Cop, even in a win, dog, I think it's time, go out on a win. Go out on a win. We don't need you to come back and fight somebody big and get your ass beat or run away and lose. It's just, everybody can't fight forever. But you can watch forever.